In this video, we will explore PTE core reading with examples. If you're aiming for a high score in the PTE core reading section, then today's session is going to be a game changer. We are not just going to look at theory. I will walk you through real exam style passages and questions. I will show you how traps are set and how to think like the test makers. So by the end, you will feel much more confident in tackling any reading task that comes your way. Let's jump straight in. The first one is about grammar and sentence structure in context. I'll tell you why this concept matters a lot. Many PTE reading and writing fill in the blank questions hinge on understanding tense, agreement, and structure, not just vocabulary, right? So let's see an example here. Although the new software has been in development for nearly 5 years, it still faces several technical issues. The engineering team, which dashed numerous prototypes during this time, is now focusing on improving security features before the final release. And the options given here are four options: has created, create, created, creating. And your job is to choose the right one that fits in the blanks, right? The correct answer is option A, has created. I'll tell you why. If you see the subject here before this dash, the engineering team, right? This is a singular subject. That means it needs a singular verb form. That's why has created. And if you see the time frame, has been in development for nearly 5 years, which means this is present perfect continuous context. If you have taken the option create, it's incorrect verb form which is in plural. And if it is created, it's past simple tense, does not link to ongoing present relevance. Got it? And creating, incomplete. If you try to fix it over here, it does not fit grammatically. And has corrected fits in properly within the blank. Okay, because it shows an action that has started in the past and continues in the present. Got it? Now, let's move on to the second concept, which is vocabulary in context. PTE often gives words that are all grammatically fine, but only one fits the meaning. Let's see an example here. During the economic crisis, many families had to cut back on their expenses. The government introduced a relief package, but critics argued that the measure were too small to make any real dash on people's lives. And if you see the options, option A difference, option B distance, option C direction, option D decision. And let me reveal the correct answer. The correct option is option A difference. If you see the context here, government measures helping people, that's the context, right? And if you see make any real difference, that's a common collocation which fits the meaning. And if you have taken the word distance, which means it's a physical measure, which is very illogical. And if you have taken direction, then that is also incorrect because it's about the movement, aim, which does not match. And if you have taken the option decision, that is also incorrect because an act of choosing, it does not fit grammatically with make any real dash, any real decision on people's lives. No. So difference is the correct answer. Now, the third concept is reading for detail and inference. Some questions don't ask you what is written, but why it happened or what it implies. Example, here's the passage. The City Council recently launched a campaign to encourage cycling as a primary mode of transport. New bike lanes were constructed and incentives were offered for those who purchase bicycles. Despite these efforts, however, survey shows that the majority of residents still prefer using their cars, largely because of safety concerns and the lack of secure parking spaces for bicycles. Got it? And the question here is, why has the cycling campaign not been very successful? You have four options: because residents dislike exercising, because there are not enough incentives for buying cars, because safety and parking issues remain unresolved, because the bike lanes are too expensive to maintain. So, if you want, you can just pause the video, try to read the passage by yourself, understand it, understand the question, and try to find out the correct option. I'll reveal the right option now. The correct answer is option C, because safety and parking issues remain unresolved, right? That's the correct answer. If you see option A, option B, and option D, all these are distractors not mentioned in the passage at all. Okay, and this passage highlights safety concerns plus lack of secure parking, which matches with the option C. Okay, now let's move on to the next concept, identifying the main idea. Summarizing is a key skill. You need to tell apart the main point from the supporting details. Here is the passage. Over the past 2 decades, online education has grown rapidly, offering opportunities to millions of learners worldwide. Platforms like MOOCs have made it possible for students in remote areas to access quality courses from leading universities. While critics argue that online education lacks personal interaction and practical training, its affordability and flexibility have made it an increasingly popular option, especially among working adults. And here is the question, what is the main idea of the passage? Again, the four options are: online education is criticized for lacking interaction, online platforms have made global access to education possible, online education has become more popular because it is affordable and flexible, MOOCs are the only form of online education. So let me reveal the correct answer. The right option is option C. Online education has become more popular because it is affordable and flexible. Right? If you take option A, supporting detail, but it's a criticism, isn't it? And if you have taken option B, this is also true, but too narrow. It's only about access. And if you have taken option D, this is false because MOOCs are an example, not the whole. So option C, that is the only option, captures the central theme of the entire passage, rise of online education due to affordability and flexibility. Got it? Now, the fifth concept is skimming and scanning with keywords. Some questions test how fast you can find information, specific information, without reading the entire passage. So, here is the excerpt. Scientists studying marine ecosystem have observed a worrying decline in coral reefs worldwide. Rising sea temperatures, pollution, and overfishing have all contributed to this decline. Coral reefs are not only home to thousands of marine species but also protect coastal areas from storms and erosion. Researchers emphasize that urgent action is required to preserve these fragile ecosystems. And here's the question, according to the passage, which factor is not mentioned as a cause of coral reef decline? So, whenever you're reading the question, make sure what it is given, whether it's in a positive note or in a negative. Here, it is given not mentioned as a cause. Okay, you need to be really careful about it. And four options are given: rising sea temperatures, pollution, overfishing, tourism development. Let's check the correct answer. Option D is the right option. Okay. First one, keywords, cause of coral reef decline, which is not mentioned as a cause of coral reef decline, right? So you have to do the skimming and scanning. If you see here, rising sea temperatures, pollution, overfishing, all these have been given here. But if you have taken this tourism, which was not explained in this passage, so obviously the correct answer is tourism development. Now I'm going to tell you some of the tips to score high in PDE core reading. First, not all tasks in reading carry the same weight. Example, reading and writing. Fill in the blanks, right? That is the highest marks. Affects both reading as well as writing score. And if you have taken reorder paragraphs, so it has the medium weightage. And multiple choice like single or multiple answer, it has the lowest weightage. So you need to focus more of your practice time on fill in the blanks since that's where your marks mainly come from. And then try to use the elimination first technique. Instead of looking for the right option, try eliminating the wrong ones first. Okay? And train with the timer. The biggest mistake candidates make is reading too slowly. You have to set a timer while practicing. Give yourself 1 minute per blank in fill in the blanks. For multiple choice, you can limit to 90 seconds per questions. So this condition your brain to work under pressure. And fourth one is expand your vocabulary through context, not list. Instead of memorizing random word lists, practice by reading short academic passages daily and noting how words are actually used. Okay. And the fifth one, check opening and closing sentences. Sixth one, you have to watch out for trap answers. You need to be really careful in this. And try to build reading endurance. Try to develop your reading endurance. Okay. PTE core reading is short but mentally tiring. Train by reading one long article daily, like 700 to 900 words. Then try to summarize it in 1 to 2 sentences. So this will build focus plus helps with identifying main ideas quickly. And don't overthink. Trust the logic. Analyze your mock test mistake because you have to reflect on your mistakes in order to go further. Okay. Finally, stay calm and move on. Fix the pattern before moving on. That's all for today's video. Kindly like, share, and subscribe for more PD core rating tips. See you in the next video. Bye bye.